Hi, once again, I'm Sydney, and I'm a servant of the Almighty God. In this episode of Recognizing God's Omnipotence, I want to just touch on something that can make all religions much, much better. It's the simple fact that the past is very important. The future, however, is more important. And the most important, the present. That's what we have now. And when we look at nature being the manifestation of God's omnipotence, all around us today, religions can find examples of God's omnipotence. They can see His power. Some of the things, but again, it's easy to learn the scriptures and just go, but then you're looking backwards. You're reaching there, and oftentimes it's why people don't see a relevance to their life today. But let me show you this. And again, nature unites all of us because it's designed from, the weather, lightning, the plants, the animals around us, they are around us today. And in all of this, we can see God's omnipotence. We can see His amazing powers. Simple thing that brings it to all of us is, it is obvious that what we call nature or Mother Nature is the creator of DNA, because DNA exists in all living things. And it just varies, and that is within DNA that basically contains the secrets to how a tree grows or an animal. Now there is something else that I think of because DNA, right? We can see that, okay, a parent, a child, you can see that relationship, and that's coded in DNA in all the genes. But there is something else. When we talk about, and I talked about the complex and the simple, complex things we need to learn from our parents. But a spider, a snake, a frog does not have to learn. So that knowledge, like when I talk about a corolla spider, so on one hand, right, Mother Nature, which really is from the Creator, obviously created DNA. Because nature knows how to manipulate DNA so that an animal has a bushy tail, or in the case of the polar bear, the fur is hollow, has air within it to be a good insulator, or for different animals, no hair. So these are just manipulations of DNA. Obviously, you must be an expert. You must have created this. If I build code, oh yeah, and somebody can go and debug my code and they're trying, let me tell you exactly where in the code is. This method is this. I can walk in very quickly and fix that code, change it, do whatever I want. So obviously, the Creator created DNA and used that in everything. But there is more. Something like the knowledge that pigeons or fish have to navigate, that I don't think that's stored in DNA, that's somewhere else. It's kind of like our memory. And this is where, I think about if we can tap into memory itself. But it's just like, when we store information in computers, we can encrypt it. And it seems that memory is encrypted because really, think about it. You can stand in court, they put some sensors on you and play back. This is what you saw. This is your memory, right? It is that sort of thing that happens where a spider knows how to use quartz to build a trap. It's that sort of memory that's passed down so that pigeons, they just know, fish know the navigation that's in butterflies. So the simple animals, there is something else. And so it's not just DNA, which obviously the Creator is very familiar with, so it can be manipulated to create all these animals. It's just modifying these genes, but we don't know the secrets to that, so we would have to play with this one and this one. But the Creator, which we currently call Mother Nature, obviously knows this. And so if religions start looking at what is in front of us, every day we see this. every medical breakthrough, even the inorganic. When we talk about Dmitri Mendeleev receiving the periodic table of elements in a dream, again, this is knowledge being given to us from the Creator, the one who created all of these elements and arranged them, knows about all the subatomic forces that hold these, electrons and neutrons and all neutrinos and all the stuff together. So the Creator. And so when religions start recognizing this, this will be, again, one of the greatest revolutions in the history of our world. The trouble for religions, however, is that separation, that my religion, and we create our own gods, really, because this person is now a saint, this is my, and this person is my God. But nature goes above all of that. It does not care about your division by religion, by race, by all of these things. Nature has its diversity, but it works the same for all of us. And this is where, in humanity's inflection point, when we get there, we would say that's where the change, the leadership has to change to recognize God's omnipotence is what we refer to as nature, and the unifying that nature gives to all of us across the planet, everywhere. We are all united in nature. The Creator created this one system that we named nature. But when we look into it, we can tell the power of someone by looking at their works. As a software engineer, I look at code and I'm like, wow, this is really neat. This is some slick stuff here. This is what we see in nature. We see DNA throughout everything, and an expert in DNA can change this and say, oh, it's the same DNA, but they've modified. We don't have those secrets as yet. We're getting into that now, but we can see that the master, the Creator, we can see how he manipulates these things and the amazing results. Religions need to recognize this, because this is the present, and this learning from our past, the scriptures, recognizing his omnipotence around us every day, is what will take us to where we need to be. This is where I talk about humanity's inflection point, from all the divisiveness and the wars and the hate and all of these things, and being subject to the demons that are they're eternal. The demons are eternal and everlasting as well. But once you recognize that nature is the manifestation of God's omnipotence, we then can focus on building personal relationships that make us immune from these demons. I want to thank you for taking the time, and hopefully this resonates with you. I'm trying to get a message out, man, and so if you feel this, take it with you, because this is not just for me. It's from, yes, I feel blessed that I got the message, but it's for the world, it's for everyone, just as nature works for everyone. Again, thank you for taking the time, and until next time, may God bless. Thanks again.